So this is our segment called To Live in Zion, LA. Now, nationally, obviously, we know it's Trump and Marco Rubio who've been locking up pro-Palestine protesters. But let's not forget the little guys, the local guys, like LA City Attorney Hydee Feinstein Soto. That is her right here. She is currently pursuing charges against 31 protesters for blocking the 110 freeway, protesters with the If Not Now, Jewish anti-Zionist organization. Yes, shout out to them. And she is now being a little bit investigated because it turns out that not only are these charges never sought upon people who block highways. It's like they're usually not trespassing charges. They're just people are dismissed once they're cleared. But also, she's shown her hand about which side of the Israel-Palestine issue, genocide, she stands on. She follows this account, the Jewish Boys. Nice Jewish Boys, thank you. Nice Jewish Boys. LA Candidates Watch said, why does City Attorney LA Hydee Feldstein Soto follow the viral Kill All Palestinians podcast, Nice Jewish Boys? Play the next clip of what they talk about on Nice Jewish Boys.
So I would, if you gave me a button to just erase Gaza, every single living being in Gaza would no longer be living tomorrow, I would press it in a second.
Lovely. Very nice. Nice Jewish Boys. She follows them, weirdly. And here she is, Spectrum One did some incredible reporting. Here she is having to answer for this. And it gives you more of
In fact,
setup.
Judge Mark Wyndham found some evidence of biased prosecution in a recent order after the city attorney's office could only provide one other example of a traffic blocking activist facing charges out of over 200 similar cases in her tenure.
We really believe that there's some very troubling bias here. It's anti-Palestinian bias.
We tried to speak to Feldstein Soto about this at her first press conference in over 3 months.
Yes, Heidi, this is Kate Cagle from Spectrum News 1. I want to ask you about some of the freeway protests that your office is pursuing, the If Not Now protesters.
I was supposed to be out of here at 1 o'clock. I've got back-to-back meetings.
Okay, we're not getting answers from your office on these questions, and we have stories.
We don't comment on pending litigation, as you know.
In 2023, a union protest blocked traffic outside LAX for hours. City leaders like Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez participated, placed in handcuffs, but never charged. Flynn has represented traffic blocking activists for 25 years and says her clients have never been prosecuted for peaceful actions, instead told to stay out of trouble in exchange for keeping a clean record. She points to Feldstein Soto's own pro-Israel tweets like this one after October 7th that condemned the attacks and added every nation and every moral person must support Israel defending her people. That tweet was later deleted.
Of course, public officials have a right to speak on whatever issue they want. But once they come out on one side of something, if they're only criminally charging and going after people who disagree with them, that becomes a problem.
Feldstein Soto disputes the bias allegations.
They're alleging that you're prosecuting them because you disagree with their message. We want to give you an opportunity
to prosecute on content, ma'am. You know that.
Okay, I'd never prosecute on content, but it seems like you are. Charges have not been dropped yet, but it's a fight, worth having. You can tweet at her. Clearly, she's still on Twitter, and she's still in her position. And that might seem bad, but it's not the worst pro-Israel sentiment we've seen here in the city of LA. In fact, the deputy mayor of public safety has recently, this week, pled guilty to calling in a fake bomb threat to City Hall, which is absolutely insane. His name is Brian Williams, which is very funny because I'm like, what is it about every Brian Williams that makes them do false flags? The point is,
they always lie.
Brian Williams,
bigly.
Yes, they go big. Brian Williams, 61, will admit to a single count of threats regarding fire and explosive and could face a maximum of 10 years in prison, according to a plea deal filed Thursday. Former city attorney Williams was tasked as a deputy mayor with overseeing the city's public safety, including Los Angeles police and fire departments, port and airport police, emergency management and department. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass appointed him to the role in February 2023. He served also as the executive director of the Los Angeles County Sheriff Civilian Oversight Commission as a deputy mayor in a prior administration. Kind of important. So here's what he did. On October 3rd, he allegedly used a Google Voice number on his personal cell phone to call his city-issued phone. So he called himself. So the city device would log a call from an unknown number. He then called the Los Angeles Police Department chief of staff and said he'd gotten a call from a man who made a bomb threat against LA City Hall. After calling the police, Williams texted the mayor and several other high-ranking officials with the false report. According to the plea agreement, he wrote, quote, "Bomb threat. I received a phone call on my cell at 10:48 a.m. this morning. The male caller stated he was, quote, tired of the city's support of Israel and decided to place a bomb in City Hall. It might be in the rotunda."
Tells them where it is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It might be.
And I'll give you the code to deactivate it if you answer me.
I mean, that's what he
these
said.
questions 3.
It's a fucking Riddler.
You had to record a video of yourself saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea, answer me these questions 3.
It might be in the rotunda is giving big like Ben Stiller like from Cable Guy like I think they were Asian. Sorry, very random deep cup. The point is,
Gotta watch Cable Guy.
holy shit, this guy's no longer in office. The city attorney is still in office. These are the kinds of people who are, obviously, we're in a city where LAPD were called on UCLA students. It's just wild. I mean, Rachel, let me kick it to you because does this feel like wild to you? Is it, or is it kind of like, yeah, I've seen worse?
You know, this city has a reputation for a lot of strange happenings and corruption. I think, obviously, this fake bomb threat is comical. I mean, I was out for a week. I just got back from vacation last night, so I missed all of that happening, and reading about it today, I was like, oh my God, you leave LA for 1 week, and there's this like fake bomb threat. Yeah, the in the rotunda's nuts, gave him a map and everything. Also using a Google Voice number registered to you, by the way. Like that's not, I mean, get a VPN. What year is it? We all know how to do this. So he just...
I was in incognito mode.
Yeah. I thought that worked. So that was nuts. The Heidi stuff, par for the course, if you follow her and you know her work. The back-to-back meetings thing was so nuts to me. Like, I gotta go, I'm in back-to-back meetings. Everything's on Zoom now, and you know that. So you...
Wait, but also wait that she listened to where they were, because when she said, I'm from Spectrum 1, she was still interested. Okay, yeah, okay, hi. I want to ask you about the charges on the protester. Goodbye, I've got a meeting. Like, there's a moment where she realizes what's being asked.
Well, especially, and shout out to Kate Cagle, because she is an incredible reporter, one of the best in the city, doing this type of work and actually asking the right people the right questions at the right time. So we need her reporting more than ever. So I'm really grateful to her. But yeah, I mean, it's insulting. She clearly has a bias. This is, if I was that judge, I would be pissed. Like, this is a waste of my time. There's so many other things to be focusing on. You're obviously biased. You should not be prosecuting these cases. It will get thrown out, I hope, I think, because it's obvious. I mean, the tweets are there, you can delete them, but just like incognito mode, that's not how it works. There's obviously
and if, what was it, 600 other similar blockings of highways and protests?
You just get, fisticuffed, and then they tell you, stay out of trouble.
Yeah,
and
you basically, it stays, I believe, a violation unless you have another viation or a misdemeanor within like a year. Yeah, I was arrested once in my activist days. It's bonkers. And like, it also feels, I mean, the other thing is we may not have time for our game about Hollywood, but it is interesting, like we're still in a town where a lot of people are scared to speak out or say something. And John, in media, it also feels like we're in this moment of like, you either have, you have like media outlets that are like, we're covering Trump 24/7 all the time, and all the awful things, which we should, but then we're completely silent on Gaza, and it's like this line, like I'm thinking of the big rising stars like Midas Touch and Bulwark and all these sort of like centricity, whatever. And I feel like some of the distinction that I feel like you're reporting, my reporting, obviously Matt, is like, okay, we talk about this fucking genocide. Yeah. And in terms of Hollywood too, you're like, this whole industry is dying and you're still worried about not getting a job because you spoke out about children being bombed.
Yeah, the amazing thing is how in their actions they reveal how desperately they want the enemies to be what they imagine. Like they would say, you're a radical, you believe in sane things. And what do they have? They have a bomb threat they have to call in because the other side isn't violent. They wish it was. They wish you guys were doing that, but you don't because you're not the violent ones. Right. They're supporting the violence. And they have peaceful protesters on a highway. And even that minor inconvenience sends them into just setting fire to all of their supposed values. They don't care about free speech, free assembly, all of that. Because even though they're getting everything they want, Israel is doing everything they want. The plan is there. They're going to move everyone out. They're going to take all the land. That's not enough. You also have to shut up while they're doing it. Yeah. Like, you literally can't organize. You can't impede them a second as they get what they've been working for so many years.
Not only were those protesters peaceful, but they were also Jewish. Yeah. Which is like,
that probably angers them even more.
Right. And see, that's the other thing is like, now they are stuck with this. Like, the reason this is going to take a while, I think, is because they're like, are we really doing this? Are we really gonna arrest and prosecute a bunch of Jews for blocking off the freeway? Like, it is insanely bad optics for them. So instead, it just seems like they're filibustering until they figure out what to do. I was supposed to be there, by the way.
Wow, you were supposed to be.
I was really early in the morning.
The hero. You stayed home. You were like, I'll be the one at home, guys.
Yeah, I was like, you guys need someone on the ground at home doing tweets.
Some of us have to be on the ground.
Yeah. No, I literally, I took the train, because I've done 2 other actions, both of which were supposed to be red actions where you get arrested. Both of those did not get arrested. And then this one, I was like, I was supposed to drive some people, and then it was like super early, and I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah. It was never going to happen.
You were fighting the Radiohead front of that war.
Exactly. I'm fighting the Radiohead front. I'm trying to get Tom to make a statement.
You guys,
it worked.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.